What's up, you guys? Daniel Cruz back with another episode of Cook with Cruz here. I know last week we went over a beat with a guitar sample in it. I got another fresh beat here with another guitar sample, but we're going to be in a different genre this time. I know the beat we did last week was like a super energetic trap beat, but for today we do have a guitar that's going to be driving our beat here. Instead of trap, we're going to be going more for an R&B vibe here. Just like last week for the guitar sample, the chord progression is what really caught me. Same goes for this beat here. I'm very familiar with this chord progression. I've used it before in other beats. The reason why I like this progression so much in this beat here, when Tory Lanez came out with his hit record Say It, fell in love with that progression. I thought it was super dope, and I definitely made a handful of beats using that same progression. So the guitar for this beat, it's pretty much that same thing, so definitely caught my ear. Shout out to my boy Enrique, by the way. He provided the guitar for me, so big shout out to him. For my producers, I will leave some links in the description for you with some of his guitar packs. But without further ado, let's check out this beat. So let's start off by playing the raw guitar file here. So that's all I needed to hear. Thought that was dope. Let's jump into the mixer here and see what I did effects wise. We got guitar rig, Psychotica preset. I have it turned down a lot though, didn't want the full effect there, and some basic EQ, cutting out some highs here. So that's all I did. Now we have a nice sounding guitar here. So we're just going to have the guitar play for the first 4 bars. That's going to be the intro for the song here. So right when the verse starts on the downbeat, I do have a small vocal sample I chopped in here. And looking in to see how I got it to sound that way, obviously we pitched it down here to get it in key of the beat. In our mixer we got Little Altar Boy. This is actually a really dope VST that I like to use on vocals. I actually think it sounds best on vocals, but it can actually get you a deeper or a higher tone in your vocal samples without actually changing the pitch. It's actually kind of hard to explain. I'll kind of just show you right here what I mean. So this is just the default preset here. Let's just play it on the default. And for this specific beat, I'm going to drop it all the way down to 12. It's going to give it that deeper tone that we heard first, but it's still going to be in the same key. So that's a dope little plugin if y'all want to look into it, Little Altar Boy. Top of that, threw some delay 3 onto here and some reverb. So because of the guitar here and just rhythmically how it plays, I wanted a certain bounce to the verses here. So in order for me to achieve that, we came into Omnisphere for our Fat Fatty Fatness bass preset, and I just wanted some simple bass stabs to kind of go with the rhythm of our guitar here. As I'm playing the bass, I'm just going to play the snap that I have for the beginning of the verse, just so we can get a bounce and rhythm going. So that's the bounce and rhythm that I wanted for this beat here. So now moving on to the next 4 bars of the verse, we're going to have some more drums come in. And these drums are just going to complement the bounce that I want here. So let's go over those right here. So we still got our snap, and we chopped up percussion loop here. So that bounce right there is going to be perfect transitioning throughout our verse. And for the last 4 bars of the verse, I just add a closed hat pattern that's basically gonna layer up with the percussion or hi-hat loop that we already had playing. And on top of that, for this last section here, I actually cut out the first 2 snares. What this is going to do is just going to emphasize the chord hitting on the guitar, and again it's just going to further the feel of our bounce here. So here's what I'm talking about with that. So that right there is going to solidify our verse. We're going to come into the pre-hook now, and this is where I really get to come in and just play the keys, layer up some instruments, make everything very open to get ready for our drop for the hook. So for our guitar, I chopped it up just so we just have the chords playing. I also threw a new guitar rig preset onto here, all the blink things. This is going to add some heavy distortion to it and some heavy reverb here. It's going to sound real nice after it's chopped up. So now that I have the guitar chopped up, that's going to leave me a lot of room for me to do my thing on it. So first, let's go over the bass for the pre-hook. We got Oscar bass 3 here. I turned up our slide knob a little bit here just because I wanted to have the ending notes to kind of bend. You'll hear it right here when I demonstrate it. So there goes our pre-hook bass, and as you can hear and see, I'm cutting the bass out right when the guitar chord hits. Again, that's just to leave emphasis on the chord there. Next thing I want to do is layer up chords of my own. We have Pure and Simple and Omnisphere. For this patch, just added some reverb and echo melt. And then on top of our Rode keys there, we're going to pull up Keyscape LA Custom C7 Cinematic, one of my favorite presets here. For this, I just have some reverb and a SiQ preset clarity for the EQ. So I'm just going to layer up our chords and add some little melodies on the piano here. So that wraps up our pre-hook, and then right after that we're going to jump right into the hook. For the hook here, I definitely wanted it to sound pretty full, so I did add and layer a few things in here. Let's start off with Blissfully Unaware and Omnisphere. This is a dope pad that I love to use. All I did was just layer up the chords. On to our next layer now, Keyscape LA Custom C7 Grand Piano. However, I did add some guitar rig onto it. Tweed Delight Sweep Delay preset here. Once again, I'm just layering up more chords. And for our guitar, there was another clip in there that Enrique provided for me. It's pretty much the same thing what we heard in the verse, except it does have some arpeggiated melodies in the background. So on top of all those instruments there, I did do some stuff to the drums. For that hat loop that I chopped up during the verses, I extended that to play all the way through the hook so it's not chopped up. Again, since the vision I had was for the hook to be pretty full, I layered another hi-hat here. and layered up our snare with a clap. So after all those additions to our hook, we should have a pretty full sounding hook here. Let's go ahead and take a listen now from pre-hook into hook so you can hear that. And then of course, going into our second verse. So there goes the whole beat right there. That's all done. Hitting you guys with 2 weeks in a row of working with some guitars, showing you 2 different genres. So really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really had a lot of fun making this beat. Shout out to Henrique again for the guitars. Appreciate it. Leave some feedback for me, questions, comments, concerns. Leave that all down below for me in the comment section. I will definitely get back to you, and all that is very appreciated. And as always, I hope I was able to teach or inspire you from this video, as that is the goal for all of the videos that I do. So thank you guys for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this video. But that is all for me this week. I will see you next Sunday. I'm out. Peace.